Well, hello there. Today we have another wonderful, magical message of hope from Coley and Lonnie. We're going to hear about their story of their daughter, Shayne. So here we go. Which one of you would like to speak first?
Go ahead.
I'll go first.
Okay.
He's good at following up, so.
Terrific.
So Shayne is 14. She has Down syndrome. And throughout her life, it's been very important for Lonnie and myself to be on the same page and to treat Shayne as typical as possible. And we really think that that's important because sometimes through our conversations, if you expect less, sometimes our kids they're going to give us less. But even with her, having special needs, it was very important for us to make sure that we held her to the same standard. We always said that we would give her all the special attention that she needed, but we would treat her as typical as possible. And, there's no reason not to in our situation. So by doing that, I think it's really helped her through life, and it's helped her. Her self-esteem is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
She's just amazing herself. She believes in herself. She knows that she can do things. And, when she looks for that reassurance, we're there for her. And when she was little, any little thing that she would do that, maybe stand up or, put a puzzle together for the 100th time, we made sure that we were like, yay, good job. And she loved it and she thrived with that. So she was very, very receptive to, praise, which is a big deal for her. So just treating her typical, and, she had expectations, and, if she did something maybe she wasn't supposed to, we also let her know that. But those are all things that I think have really helped shape her into who she is today. And looking back on it, I'm really glad that we've done everything that we have done, because if we would have expected less again, she might have just gave us less and thought, hey, I can't do this. But we told her that she could do it.
Yeah.
Even if it was hard at first, then she would overcome it and she would do it. So that's really worked out for her.
Well, that's huge, because as a special needs mother myself, I know sometimes I babied my son, and it's hard. How did you know if your expectations were too high?
I don't think we've ever expected more than what we thought that she could do. Obviously it took longer for her to walk, but she did it. So we didn't push her necessarily. We just kept helping her. Does that make any sense?
Oh, absolutely.
We're not like, hey, you need to get up, and, you didn't get up. But when she does get up, we just made a huge deal of it, and she loved that. So with anybody, when somebody, the crowd claps for you, that makes you feel good. Especially if your family's here and your parents are, they're like, come on, you can do it. You want to do it more, and it helps.
Yeah.
So pushing her, we didn't expect more of her than we knew that she could do. So
truly, it was your love and your willingness to show her, that you can do it. You truly were her greatest cheerleaders.
Absolutely, and us being on the same page is a huge help.
Yeah,
well, that's an interesting topic, being on the same page, because a lot of marriages, they have a hard time with parenting styles. So how was it that the two of you were able to be on the same page?
Well, we've always had, from the get-go, we decided that no matter what, we were going to push her to what she could be. Mm-hmm. And I have always, had a principle that telling our kids that never to gauge yourself by someone else, because you will possibly limit yourself. So if the track star on the team is running at a 3-minute, you might be able to do it in 2.9. But if you limit yourself to that 3 minute, you'll never know. So we've always pushed her as much as we can. And I say push, it's encourage her.
Right, right.
And it's one of the things that Nicole said, we never tired of that. We never got tired of encouraging her.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what kept it going. And a lot of people give up. And, you know, we've counseled people at certain events and stuff like that. You know, parents, we've seen certain things and we just look for ways to be able to go in and, you know, maybe strike up a conversation and say, and tell them our story.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
And,
that's right.
And in that story, we're hoping that they'll grab something out of that in hope and encourage them to do the same for their child.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that Nicole was talking about when we, you know, I guess when people see our daughter Shayne and they see all the functionality that she has,
Mm-hmm.
You know, they may look at us and say, well, you know, my kid could never do that. You know, so you guys have had it easy. You're really not even in our league. And, you know, what do you got to tell us really? But, you know, when it all started, you know, Shayne had to have open heart surgery. We had to wait 6 months or 10 pounds for her.
That's right.
She was in failure to thrive. You know, hope against hope. We were, you know, it's like, yeah, if she doesn't start eating, we're going to have to put the feeding tube in. And we're like, oh God, we don't want a feeding tube. You know, at every turn, we would look and say, you know, there was prayers and we would just hope to God that wasn't going to happen, you know, and we were going down that same road that everybody goes down.
That's right.
So the results that you see today doesn't really reflect the burdens we carried early on.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times people will see, you know, hey, you know, you got the fine car, you got the fine house, but you don't know the shoes and the walk that it took to get that.
So let me ask you this.
Yes.
You say the walk, the journey.
Yes.
You know, what was the medical profession when you first started on this journey? And what inspired you to just keep going and not give up hope?
We did the amniocentesis.
Yeah, it was the amniocentesis we did that.
We went and did the counseling at USF.
Mm-hmm.
And in that room from that day forth, it really, I guess it became a challenge for us, because what we were told by that doctor was that, you know, they really tried to tell us to end it. Okay? That was the message. Because this child that we were fixing to have, and he was hoping we would not have her, would be a burden to us and to society. And she would never, you know, it would just really, a young life would just really snuff it out for us.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd never have a great experience. And he'd hate to see us to have to go through all those troubles. And, you know, that became something that really, it lit a fire in me. And Nicole as well. And we knew we were on the right track.
So, that's right. That's right.
You know, you just bolstered our confidence and we're doing the right thing now. You know, so, you know, from that time and again, you know, back to where they said she was failing to thrive, you know, so she did get the tube put in.
Okay.
And, you know, we tag team throughout the night to feed her and, you know, I worked and, you know, Nicole was just wore out a lot, but she would do 4 or 5 trips a week to the doctors in Tampa, which is about 38 miles away, one way.
Do what you got to do.
That's it.
And that's
right.
Right. So one of the things was funny is the Shayne talking about her, some of the things. I looked over here and when I was thinking, this is a DeWalt. She was able to sit on this like a horse.
Wow.
That's how little she was.
She was tiny.
We had a picture of this, and at some point, maybe sometime I'll put it out on the YouTube channel.
She was tiny forever.
So you had a magical miracle.
We did.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's right.
And if we were to listen to the negativity that the doctor was giving us about her, we would have missed out on everything. And she's the, you know, she's amazing.
At milestones in her life, you know, every day we look back and we'll say it out loud. We just say it out loud. If you were here to see this at graduation, at gymnastics, she's up there. She's being the one up on top. She's doing
wow.
cartwheels. She's doing cartwheels across the floor in the cheerleading. And this was national cheerleading. They let the, you know, the special needs kids groups come up.
Special Olympics.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, you know, there's just thousands of people that watch this, and they just, you know, we are so happy that we are in this time frame, that
Because it
these
gave her
kids
all
are
the
supported
potential.
so
That's
many
right.
ways.
You had all the opportunities to give her the potential for her highest good, to reach her highest potential.
Yes.
The iPad came out, and that was just something that was
Oh.
just amazing. We put her on our billiard pool table. We put the balls there, and this would just stimulate her so much.
Oh,
she
she
would
loved
just
it.
push those balls, and they would go everywhere, and the colors, and
She loved it.
she would just like go silly.
He thinks outside the box a lot, which is good because it's giving her opportunities
Absolutely.
to do different things. Me, I'm just like, don't put her on the pool table. What are you doing? Don't sit her on the. You want to take a picture? You know, so like I'm the mom and he's the dad, obviously. So, but he's
Well, but you
I
have
got-
a really good balance there because you provide the structure and he provides the stimulation.
yes,
Right. It's a
like the
perfect world up for the two of you to work with her.
Yeah.
So what I'm really hearing from the both of you is that it was because of your belief systems, the power of your positive thoughts, and how, you know, you manifested those thoughts into her reality really made her who she is today.
I believe that's a big part of it. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, of course you did the infant stimulation, and of course you had hope, and of course you had faith.
Yep.
And you probably had other helpers who were willing to come on and be part of your team.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and it wasn't all awesome and fun and amazing. You know, we had our setbacks, or, you know, she had times where she didn't thrive, but all those things led up to the good things. You know, all those the journey that we went on all led up to this. So I mean, it's not all awesome all the time, but you gotta keep at it. Yeah.
How could it be? I mean, we think about our own childhood. You know,
Yeah.
we've all had, you know, growing pains. We've
Well,
all had wounds. Absolutely.
We experienced the same thing. You know, you're pushing your child in a stroller at the grocery store, and you got kids and everyone else looking that, you know the feeling you get. and the mama bear wants to come out, and
That's true.
and
Many times I've caught.
What are you looking at?
You know, yeah.
Maybe you got the problem.
Adults and
Ever
kids.
think of that? You know, but it's common, you know, just feelings that you roll through, and it's those thoughts, and we're just people. We're just people, you know, given grace by God, and helps us out.
And that's right. And, you know, and for us to feel secure when we leave the planet, we want to be able to give her and all of our children the confidence to not only self-advocate, but also to be able to stand up for themselves and to say, I'm worthy, I matter. And that sounds to me like you did a terrific job.
She's very confident in herself, and it's amazing. You know, it's
well, when you tell your child you're beautiful, and she's like, I know.
We're working on that.
Then we feel like we've done okay. We're trying to say, you know, that's okay talking to us like that. But when you're out and somebody compliments you, and she has done that before, it's like, that's not the good response. You just say thank you.
Say thank you.
Well, you know, it's social skills, and, you know, and a 14-year-old, you know, all 14-year-olds, they don't really have social skills. Of course, I'm generalizing, but it's a learned skill, I should say, at that age.
Yeah.
So tell me about friendships. Does she make friends easily?
Oh, she is, yes. Okay, she has, yes, she is a social-lite. She loves people. She loves school. She loves
kid around.
Yeah, she's funny. So she loves to joke around. She loves to laugh. At school, she was on the regular cheer team. You know, she tried out, they let her on the cheer team. So she was able to do that, and she made friends.
Wow.
And, you know, her teacher told me one day, she's like, this was great. She goes, we were walking down the hallway and she seen one of her friends, and she ran up to one of her friends and she grabbed their hand and she just started walking with them. And it was another student with special needs. And she just walked with that child, just like, you know, it's okay. You know, we're going to walk together. And so she's very, she's outgoing.
Yes.
That's,
but she would not have been so outgoing if she didn't have the confidence.
Right.
That's true.
That's
yes.
right. And that's what you instilled. So what do you want to tell the other parents out there who are listening? What's the magical message that they most need to hear?
I think sometimes with parents, and it's a struggle for me sometimes too, you want to hold your kids really, really close. You don't want anything to happen to them. You don't want their feelings to get hurt. You don't want kids to make fun of them. But sometimes you just kind of have to let go. You have to release the reins a little bit, so to speak. You know, Shayne's very independent, and she's even told me, okay, Mom, you can go now. I'm like, that hurt, you know, but you have to, they want the same thing as other kids do. They want, they want friendships, you know, sometimes they don't want their parents there as much. And as hard as it is, again, you just have to encourage them. You have to just, you know, make sure that they know that they're doing good and that you're proud of them. And I think that's a really big thing for kids. So encouragement, and have those expectations for those kids, because if you don't, then what do you expect? If you don't have expectations, what can you help them with? So, you know, set little goals, achieve those goals, set bigger goals, achieve those goals. So it's important how you would want things done, portray that to your kids, and help them achieve what it is that you know that they want.
Oh, thank you so much. Lonnie, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, I would just say one of the biggest things that I think that the biggest mistakes that parents make is that when we have special needs children, they're first a child. They're first human. They have feelings. If they hurt their hand, they're going to cry. Mm-hmm. So if we treat them that's the first look we should give them. And then we can compensate outside of that. And I think people go beyond that. They have already went here when we need to be at the base of saying, that's my child. Did I hurt your feelings by saying that? And we think we don't have feelings, right? We can talk, and some of these kids will pick up, and they don't know how to express that they hear you saying these things. You may think you're talking above them, and they may really understand exactly what you're doing. That's negative, and they're going to get those feelings, and sometimes we have to be very mindful of that.
Yes, you're absolutely right. And the truth is, there's no such thing as a perfect parent. I mean, no. I know I've made some big blunders along the way, and my son's 35 now. But I think I was humble enough to say, I really screwed up. I'm really sorry. I love you so much. And can you forgive me?
And they are so willing.
And one of the biggest things that we have come to start to teach Shayne, and this is just beyond anything we could have hoped that would have happened, is we wanted to give her a faith beyond us. We may not always be here for her.
That's right.
But if we can give her that higher power, as some call it, we teach her about Jesus. And we teach her to be a true Christian and what Bible's about and who Jesus is. And that she has faith in him first. And by pleasing him, she pleases us. So we have given that baton and that relay to someone greater than us. And if whether we're in the picture or out of the picture, that's who she'll be able to cling
That's
to.
right. So then this way, you know, when you do leave the planet, on some level, she knows she's never really alone.
That's right.
And that's very comforting. Oh, thank you so much. Is there, how can other people, if they want to talk to you, how can they get in touch with you? To message you on Facebook, or do you have A
Yeah,
website
we'll
or email? I mean, how can people get to know you?
yeah, we actually have a YouTube channel. It's
Oh, wonderful.
Southern Apostolic Ministries.
Okay,
Uh,
say it nice and slow. Go ahead.
Southern Apostolic Ministries on YouTube.
Okay.
And we have some songs with Shayne singing on there.
Wonderful. Now repeat that one more time and maybe even spell it for some people who have,
Okay.
that's a long, hard A word.
Okay. So Southern, SOUTHERN, Apostolic, APOSTOLIC, Apostolic Ministries, MINSTRIES.
Wonderful. I'm so happy that you're giving. Thank you so much. And I do want to remind my listeners that I have a new book coming out. It'll be ebook available on January 17th, No Stone Unturned, How My Special Needs Child and I Transformed Against All Odds. And it'll be 99 cents for the ebook on January 17th. And then the paperback will come later, January 24th. And if you do need to reach out to me, I'll give you an easy one instead of my name, because that's another way to reach out to me. www.specialneedshopeandhelp.com. That's a lot easier than DebraTaubenslag.com. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful holiday and a happy new year. God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.